In the 1980s, the Japanese coined a term that translates as forest bathing. Intended as a mindfulness practice, forest bathing is a slow, deliberate walk in the woods, inviting someone to pay close attention to the natural world. Its purpose was twofold: as an antidote for tech burnout, and also to inspire renewed care for natural resources. The Japanese embraced this form of ecotherapy, and in the decades that followed, researchers studied its benefits, providing the science to support what we intuitively know: that time spent immersed in nature is good for us. We are creatures, after all, and the natural world is our native habitat. On this particular Earth Day, as we practice physical distancing from each other, I'm thankful we can still draw physically close to the earth. One of my bright spots every day is the time that I can spend outside, whether walking or riding a bike, or sitting and watching the birds. The beauty of God's creation, especially in this season of springtime, offers immeasurable comfort. In January, the Reverend Dr. Margaret Bullitt Jonas, Missioner for Creation Care in Western Massachusetts, led a retreat at Cathedral Ridge, equipping congregations to further their stewardship of creation. And she showed us a brief prayer practice that I want to offer with you. Not all of us have access to forests that we can bathe in, but the gifts of nature can be realized even in the palm of our hands. She invited us to go out and collect an object from nature. So whatever might be just outside your back door, maybe a twig, or a pine cone, a flower, a seashell, a rock. And bring it inside and simply hold it. Spend about 5 minutes really looking at it, taking it in with all of your senses. Notice its colors. Feel its textures. Smell it. Listen to it. Really be present with this gift of God's creation. And after about 5 minutes, note some of the observations that you have made. Consider what they might have to say about life, about God, about relationships. And after another 5 minutes or so, take one of those observations and consider what God might be saying to you through this object on this day in this place. What do you need to hear? And then finally, what is the invitation for how you may act, faithfully respond? Maybe it's picking up the phone and calling someone, or writing a note, or considering some way that you can care for the earth today. Whatever that invitation is, pray for the grace and the courage to act. As we celebrate the 50th anniversary of Earth Day, I give thanks to be part of a church that calls us to care for creation. During this time of global pandemic, I've become acutely aware of our own creatureliness. As we humans battle this virus. I feel more compassion for trees that suffer from beetle kill, for fish fighting invasive species, for wildlife facing shrinking habitats. We are all connected on this fragile earth, our island home. This unprecedented interruption to our modern life reveals the extent of human impact on the natural world. I've been encouraged by measurable improvements to air quality, even in such a short time. Perhaps we don't need to fix the earth so much as stop harming her, for she is proving resilient as we slow down and rest. Jesus teaches that where our treasure is, there our heart will be also. That which we love, we want to take care of. How can we fall in love with the earth again? How can we act for her good so that all of God's creatures can thrive?